Welcome back to the League of Hustlers, ladies and gentlemen. You know what it is. It's a motivational podcast moving you closer and closer to your goals. And here we prepare to prosper. And just like every other episode, this is a good one. We're going to be talking about how to create the lifestyle that you want using side hustles, using main hustles, using businesses, using jobs, using whatever, crypto, stocks, whatever it is. All right. We're going to be structuring this in a way that you can use it however, whenever, wherever. All right. And that's the thing about it. A lot of opportunities that you see that will come your way. All right. They work. If they didn't work, you wouldn't even consider it. But before we jump into it, I'm your co-host, HT.
I'm CD Barnes.
And of course, this is the League of Hustlers. So back to what I was saying. So a lot of times we'll hear about opportunities. A lot of times we'll run across opportunities. A lot of times we'll pursue different opportunities, right? And everybody's talking about, yeah, it'll work and this works and you can make this much and you can make that much and you can do this and you can do that. And the truth of the matter is that all of this stuff works, right? All of it works. The question is, will you work it? The question is, do you have the desire and the know-how to pull it off? And that's what it really boils down to, right? And so, you know, from being in this space, this whole YouTube space and, you know, seeing so many different interviews and so many different people that come from all walks of life that have chosen a multitude of opportunities, the one thing that I've come to realize is that all of it works. All of it works, right? The question is, do you have the know-how how to work it? And that's where we're coming in and the angle that we're coming at you with, right? We're going to give you, all right? We're going to build upon this whole framework, right? This whole, you know, I don't even know what to call it. Well, you know, whatever you want to call it, we're going to give you the actual building blocks to creating a stream of income. And from there, you can take it and you can duplicate it once, you can duplicate it twice, you can duplicate it 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, they say the average millionaire has at least 3 streams of income. The top 1% have like 7 plus. All right. And so I'm sure you see all these opportunities that come your way, right? Whether you're on TikTok, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, whether you're on YouTube, so many opportunities, right? But what we're gonna seek out to do is to show you the actual building blocks. So it doesn't matter what you choose, right? Because the thing is that you are the only one that can make that decision, right? You have to have the desire to do whatever it is. You have to have the will to continue to do whatever it is. You have to have the tenacity to see it through to the end, right? And so we're trusting that you have that, and we're trusting that you're going to choose the right opportunity. But what you're going to also need around that is the framework. It's the framework. So it's not just about this one opportunity and pursuing it. It's about building out this entire framework. You know? What's your thoughts on that, CD?
That's it, man. And it's perfectly put, because just like you just pointed out, you know, the average millionaire has essentially multiple streams of income, whether it's 3 or 7, and you hear that kind of buzz phrase being thrown out there all the time. Multiple streams, multiple streams, multiple streams. However, you know, there's like tons of ways to get into the bag, all right? And it becomes difficult to choose which things are you going to attempt, which things are right for you. Just because you can make $1 million selling shoes doesn't mean that you should actually do that. That may not be something that you are attracted to in that way, to kind of like, you know, relentlessly follow through the steps. You know, just because you can do it, you may not want to do it. Is that the lifestyle you want? Yeah, you got the money, but now you're stuck to something that you don't even like doing. So essentially, man, we got the framework, together, and we kind of went through each of the steps of the process to put together a very nice package to take you from essentially side hustle, all right, and establish that side hustle into a legit stream of income to the
Hold
point
on, back up though. Back up. We go start at the dream, right?
Mhm.
Starting even at the dream.
At the dream, exactly. So at the very beginning, number one, you need to know what it is that you want. All right. Not everybody wants to be a millionaire. Not everybody needs to be a millionaire. Your dream day might be, I need to make 250,000 a year. I need to make 150,000 a year, or it could be I need to make $1 million a year. All right, but that's kind of step one, is establishing where you want to be. All right, and once you establish where you want to be, you need to take an honest assessment of where are you now. Imagine you're taking a road trip. You're on the East Coast somewhere. You're in Florida, and you need to get to California. Step one is identifying essentially where you want to go. All right, so once you have that, the next thing to do is to assess where you are, and then that gap analysis in the middle. Like, okay, I'm in Florida. I need to get to California. Now you can kind of make that roadmap of how to get there. All right. And from there is essentially where you begin the process of selecting the appropriate hustle, that's the appropriate vehicle that's going to get you from point A to point B, from Florida to California, from $20 an hour to $50 an hour, from $50,000 a year to $150,000 a year. This is the point where it's time for you to select that vehicle. All right, I'm trying to get from Florida to California. Do I want to take a bicycle? Do I want to take a skateboard? Do I want to get a car? Do I want to get a plane? You see what I'm saying? It's the exact same process, guys. You start from that step, that first stage of deciding where you need to be, determining where you are, and then now you need to kind of fill in that gap and then determine the appropriate side hustle that you're going to take to get there. It's as simple as that. And that's kind of like the baseline portion of the framework is that. That whole part of it is mostly mental, all right? Getting that groundwork laid out, and then you can kind of build up from there. Where you at, H? What you think about that, bro? What's next after
man. That? Yeah, I'm excited, man, because that's like the first phase, right? That's the first phase. And keep in mind, we're gonna package this up for you guys, and we're working on it. We're working on building it out. And as the episodes go on, we're just gonna dive deeper into each one of these subjects. The next phase is basically like action, right? Putting rubber to the road, right? Pounding the concrete. So you're going to move from identifying the hustle or identifying the vehicle or the method that you want to pursue and transition into actually planning for it, all right? And we also did an episode based on the one-page business plan, right? So this is another section of the second phase, okay? It's planning it out, right? Using that business model canvas that we covered to actually build out the different things, such as your minimum viable product, such as your value proposition, such as your customer relationships, such as your revenue streams, and really digging into each one of those sessions, right, or sections, and really finding out what's involved with each phase or each critical portion of your business. All right. And then next, it's about taking action, right? It's about actually getting out there and executing on some of those steps. This is where it really gets real. This is where you actually are, talking to people. This is where you're actually selling a product, sourcing it, putting it together, or service, sourcing it, putting it together, actually getting to it. All right. Rubber meets the road at that critical point where you're literally providing a valuable product or service and receiving money for it. Okay. And then the next phase of it is systematizing it. Okay. The thing about an income stream is that you don't want to be the one working it. Okay. You don't want to be the one handling the major day-to-day duties of that stream. Okay. Why? Because if you do, you actually just created another job. We're not talking about creating jobs for yourself. Okay. We're talking about creating jobs for other people. Okay. And this is where, you could call it systematizing it. You can call it scaling. You can call it, allocating duties, whatever you want to call it. But at this phase, this is where you're going to scale it up. This is where you're going to put processes in place to have it run on autopilot so that you can be on a beach and it's still pumping. You can be, skiing in the mountains and it's still turning over. It's still pumping. All right. And I think, what's the next phase, CD?
And once you have your hustle, you know what I mean? And once you get to that point, you've basically scaled it up, into a business. So what happens next is you need to begin to allocate your profits accordingly, because don't forget, when we started out on that first level, we started out with an idea of where we wanted to be in terms of, whether it's finance or whatever. I started off, I was making $50,000. I wanted to make $200,000. All right, that's $150,000 gap. All right. So, but the next step is basically allocating the profits from this hustle, from this business in a way that you are guaranteed to meet your goal. And not only that, you can also track it and put a timeline on it at this point. Imagine you're driving from Florida to California. You know exactly how many miles you need to travel, exactly how fast you're driving on average. All right. So you can kind of guesstimate how long it's going to take you to get there. And you can determine from there, all right, I need to speed it up, or I can, take more rest breaks. We can stop a little, you can kind of gauge what needs to happen on your journey now. But allocating your funds, all right, set some sides, a certain percentage to the side for taxes, a certain percentage to the side for savings, a certain percentage to the side to put back into the business to grow the business, a certain percentage to the side for your actual profits that's going to go towards, your dream day goal. That's basically what we're talking about. And we do have an episode that's all about allocating funds. We have a spreadsheet, a nice little template and everything where you can actually go in, adjust the values, and we have, examples in there and everything. So we can link that into this episode, and we'll get more into it in further episodes. This is just kind of like a real quick bird's eye view. But after you kind of set up your allocation strategy, the next thing is to essentially maintain. All right, because once you're now allocating, you need to be maintaining the stream. You just created a stream from scratch, from idea all the way to the point where you're allocating the funds. And now you just need to maintain the stream. So you need to do everything you need to do. That could be, setting up that business structure, maybe having some processes in place, checks and balances, making sure you're kind of QAing your whole process, whatever it is. It could be customizable for you, based on what type of venture you started to begin with. There are, it's going to be totally different, but just making sure that the vehicle remains in good health throughout the entire journey. All right. Simple as that.
Yeah. And that's the real important part. Because what I see, actually, I had a conversation this weekend with a guy, and he was saying like he's reached a certain amount and he has this one stream in place, but now he's looking at creating another stream, right? And he's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna stop doing this, or I'm gonna take time away from this stream and start working on this other stream. And I'm like, you got to be careful, because once you have this stream going, you can't forget about it, right? You can't stop providing and stop making sure that that stream has everything that it needs. Because if you do, then either the stream will cut off altogether or it'll stop producing as much, right? So that's going to be a real key point to all of this too, is making sure it's still running. But all of this, wrapping it up, right? And that's the last step. But wrapping all of this up, the whole point is to create this dream lifestyle, right? It's to create this, this lifestyle that you set out to create, right? And so the key is that maybe one stream doesn't help you achieve that lifestyle. Maybe you need 2, maybe you need 3, maybe you need 4. And that's the beauty of this framework, right, that we're putting together. It's going to allow you to duplicate it over and over and over again. Okay. And I'm reminded of the 4-hour work week, right? That was released years ago, maybe even like a decade plus ago. This is almost like a more in-depth version of it. And we're giving it a structure that you can plug any hustle into, right? We've interviewed so many people on the League of Hustlers, from the Passport to the Hood, the card game, right? With Anthony Kent and Krista Kent, right? We've interviewed Bitcoin Vegan. He's doing it through crypto. We've interviewed Rick Medali. He's doing it through like social media. Ralph Means Biz. He's doing it through Turo, right? And other forms. So many people. Jania Massey, who's doing it through a nonprofit. Okay. And so what we've gained from our own experiences, as well as talking to so many hustlers, so many entrepreneurs, this is what we've gained. This is what we've pulled together, this entire framework, right? A 9-step process that if you follow correctly, if you follow this correctly, it will definitively create a passive income stream for you. The key is you working it. That's the major key. All right. You have to have the will and you have to have the desire to do it, because all of this stuff works. There's so much stuff out here. Just go on YouTube and search, how to make income, anything along those lines, how to make, or look up side hustles, look up, Google side hustles. You'll see so many opportunities that pop up, from, freelancing to Uber to real estate to name it. It's so many opportunities. And that's the thing about it. It's so many opportunities. Why? Because all of them work. You just have to have the will and you have to have the desire. Once you have those two things, then the next thing you need is this framework that we're going to put together, this method, this strategy, that's guaranteed to walk you step by step, all right, to making sure that that income stream is set up and it's passive. Why? So that you can be chilling on a beach somewhere, checking your account, right? Or so that you can buy that dream car, so that you can buy that dream house, so that you can live that dream lifestyle. The key is setting up these multiple streams. One may do it for some people. Some people may need 3. Some people may need 7. Okay? But what they really need is that baseline. They need the strategy in terms of how to do it, so that it doesn't become another job, so that it doesn't become overwhelming. And that's what we're going to show you. That's what we're going to teach you. Okay? So stay locked in. Stay tuned in, man. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. Hit the notification bell, man. And share this episode, because we promise that this will help. It's going to be awesome. Anything else, bro?
That's it, folks. Let's prepare to prosper.